Hey there, my name is Chris Acton with Acting Creative, and this is a handwoven experience. And in today's episode, I'm going to talk about creating a break in your handwoven fabric. You see, in a lot of instances, most instances, as a matter of fact, we are not going to weave one thing. We are going to put on enough inches that we're going to weave multiple things. It's a good use of all that time we spent dressing our loom, right? We're not going to make one towel, we're going to make 8 towels. Or not one scarf, we're going to do 4 scarves. Awesome. And in certain scenarios, how we want to finish each of those scarves may not be with a hem, it may be with some fringe. And we need some space to create that fringe for the scarf. So what do we do when we need a break in our project? And let me clarify, I don't mean a break as in we cut it off. I mean, we just need space, we just need inches that are unwoven. Now, the good news is, like most things in weaving, we have options, right? We have lots of options here. So let's talk through what your choices are, and you can decide what's best for you and your project. So I'm at the end of scarf number 1, and I know that I want my scarf for 1 to be 6 inches long. I want to give myself 6 inches of fringe, and then I want to have 6 inches of fringe before I start the next scarf, right? So I need a total of 12 inches that are unwoven in my project here. So option number 1, don't do anything, right? Stop wherever you are, roll the whole project forward, measure out 12 inches, start again, off you go. Fantastic. My personal challenge with that approach is that weft yarn is gonna shift, and that makes me a little bit crazy. If that doesn't bother you, great friends. That is the most easy and simple and straightforward way to do it. Just stop where you are, roll the project forward 12 inches, start weaving again. Awesome. Let's talk about our other options. Option number 2 is to actually stop and do some kind of a hem stitch. Now, I am not the world's best hem stitcher because I don't do it a lot, but I'll show you kind of an example here. So let's look at this guy. This is a little wall hanging I did a million years ago. But you can stop and actually create a hem stitch that will keep your weft yarns from shifting. Roll the project until you get to the next where you want to start. Do a little bit, do a hem stitch to keep everything organized here. Awesome. You don't have to worry about things shifting. You have some blank space. Fantastic. So that is option number 2, is employ some kind of a hem stitch, blanket stitch, whatever it is. Do some kind of hand stitching in order to keep your weft yarns in place. Awesome. Here is option number 3, is to use your good old toilet paper. Okay, so if you've been hanging with me for any amount of time, you know that I love to use toilet paper as my spacers in the beginning of my project. So I always have some cheap toilet paper handy. So I say you use it. Now, here is my approach when I need to leave space in between 2 items in my project. So I will go in and do approximately 3 to 4 rows of toilet paper, just plain weave, and this is literally just to create like a little barricade so that my weft yarns don't go anywhere. So here's what that might look like. This will be a row here. Row number 2. Like I said, I usually do 3 to 4 because I find that 1 or 2 rows, they'll still shift. I might have control issues, it's true. Okay, this is row number 3. By the way, the beauty of toilet paper, it's perforated. I love that part. Okay, this is row number 3. Here we go. And this is row number 4, and we'll call it good. Okay. So what I've done here is created this kind of little barrier. So none of these yarns now are gonna shift, right? Okay, I'm in good shape. I've kind of shored up this part of it. Now, imagine that I move the whole thing forward and I've measured out my 12 inches, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And let's say I want to start, my next section. Here's what I would do. And imagine I've measured it out 12 inches here, would you? Okay, so I would again, use my toilet paper to kind of help control the start of the next scarf. So I would come in here. The first one's just kind of random, you know. But you've measured out your distance. You're like, this is 12 inches. Awesome. I would do the same thing on this side. So do about 3-4 rows, right? Just like this. That's number 3. This will be number 4. So you've given yourself then a nice little, this is nice and tight. Your weft yarns aren't going to be all wobbly. Pick up your shuttle, start the next scarf, right? That's how you leave a nice amount of unwoven inches in between your projects. And this is not the kind of thing that you're going to use every time. However, there will be instances when you need a break in your hand woven fabric. And my friend, you have choices. You can just leave it be and not worry about any kind of securing your weft, no problem. Measure out how many inches you need and go forth. You can do some kind of a hem stitch, blanket stitch, whatever it is to actually secure them. This is also lovely because then that's actually like a finished edge when it comes off. Bonus. Or number 3, you can use some other kind of material to help secure everything. I like toilet paper. So you have choices when it comes to creating a break in your hand woven fabric. So tell me, when you run into this scenario, what is your approach? How do you handle that when you need some unwoven inches in your project? Let me know in the comments. All right, friends, have a wonderful week. Happy weaving.